end of the last video, I mentioned that we could use prevent default to basically cause our radio buttons to reset. Now, I was thinking that there might be a bit of a better way to do this, and it turns out that there is. So Mozilla Developer Docs is great, but also Stack Overflow is a super useful resource. So to get here, I think I Google searched, well, HTML form radio button doesn't clear. So if we look at Stack Overflow and scroll down to the answer, sometimes you do want to read the question though to make sure that it's relevant to you. They mentioned that there's this autocomplete attribute which you can set to off. So let's go ahead and try that out. I haven't actually given it a shot yet, so it might not work. But let's go over to index.html, and then just for each of these radio, we're going to do autocomplete and set this to off. And then we'll just copy paste that to the other things. So one thing that's kind of annoying is that in HTML, there's no way to do loops. No way in terms of pure HTML. One of the next things that we're going to do in future videos is start talking about different frameworks where instead of writing HTML, you basically just write JavaScript even when you're, even in your kind of like index HTML where you'd be, not really index.html, but where you'd be using these HTML elements, you just write JavaScript code that creates these HTML elements, and then you can do things programmatically, which is super nice. Okay, so anyway, so we have these autocomplete offs. We're going to go ahead back to our calculator Dapp and refresh it. And so that looks a lot nicer. If we submit this, then we get that unknown operation error message. Okay, and unfortunately we got 2 alerts there, so that seems, okay, that's because we didn't return. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code, our index.js, and we did have a helpful alert message, but this, we still got the alert message, which was not useful or correct because we didn't return here. So let's go ahead and fix that. And then we'll go ahead and just refresh this and try it one more time. Okay, and so that's better. Now let's go ahead and add. We get 3. Let's go ahead and subtract. We still get that. So it looks like Stack Overflow might not have been the most useful, but that was at least better that when we refresh, it clears things. So that's a little bit better. So this thing is still usable. I mean, you could like make a little add to the alert, like make sure to refresh before you use this again. But, you know, that's really not ideal, right? And we should also, in case they click, you know, all of these, this should not be allowed. They should only be allowed to click one at a time. Okay, apparently divide got selected that time. And so the way that we're going to do this is we're going to add some JavaScript code where instead of just like listening for form submit, we can listen for one of these values being changed. So we're going to go ahead and do that next, unless I find something that's actually a bit of a cleaner solution, which I'm starting to think that there's a cleaner solution. It wouldn't be bad to go through the JavaScript option, but I think it'd be, we'll see. I think that there's going to be a cleaner way to do that, but stay tuned.